What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? Beats your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to speak about why colored people are being left behind and why black people are passing them over, why black people are surging, moving ahead and prospering ahead of colored people. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler. People, sometimes we go through things and we actually don't even understand why we go through certain things. We're always looking for reasons to blame other people, and that's fine. But it's actually not fine because I feel like there's opportunities, plenty of opportunities that we can actually do on our own, that we choose not to do on our own. And what am I talking about? I'm simply talking about the main reason why colored people complain and blame the government for lack of opportunities. But you, as a person, as an individual, cannot blame the government for everything. You cannot wait on the government to give you opportunities. That would be totally unfair. And it's totally not right because the government cannot feed and give opportunities to each and every single person in South Africa. Now, there are approximately 64 to 65 million people in South Africa. Do you think that with all the money that there is in South Africa, that the government, even if South Africa had gazillions of dollars, do you think each and every South African family can get given a house and a job and a car and food? And even America, the biggest economy in the world, does not do that for its own people. So if the great America cannot do that, how do you expect South Africa to do that? Now, my problem is a simple problem that I'm thinking should be a solution to the problem that we have as colored people. Now, what is it? Self reflection. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing that most young colored people do is need to go make a CV, need to go look for a job. Okay, not bad. That's the way we were taught. That's just the system that we were born in, raised in, most of us anyway, right? How about we change the mindset and say, okay, I have a roof, I have food, I have clothes, I have the basics. And now, since I can't find a job, or since there are no jobs, or since there's no opportunities being offered to me, how about I create my own opportunities, create my own luck? How are you going to do that? Everybody's going to say, right, oh, cool, but you need money to start something. Does everything need money to start? Does everything need a building and an office to start? No. What can you start that doesn't require much input, financial input, but requires a lot of time and effort, but less financial input? Ever thought of starting a cleaning business where you go around cleaning people's yards, houses, windows, washing people's cars? Everything is saturated. There's nothing that you are going to start now that isn't already saturated. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing it. Yeah, there's so many people already doing it. Yes, that one is doing. Yes, this guys, people are starting YouTube channels every single day. And YouTube has already said there are more than 40 million YouTube channels already. Isn't that saturated? I just started a channel 2 years ago. I would have wished to have started it during COVID when most people were at home. And that's when most people started YouTube channels. But I couldn't because I fell under the emergency sector. So I had to work. So for the whole COVID, I was working. I had a 9 to 5, came home tired every day because we were what was it called? Emergency, not emergency. We were, what's that word that they used? We were critical, not critical. Anyway, there was a certain word that they used. We fell under that. They were the essential workers, essential, essential. We fell under that because we're working in retail with food, so we have to do that, right? My thing is, we look at black people, right, and we laugh at them because they are doing like low down jobs, right? That's how we look at it, right? Like, I can't go sell tomatoes. I mean, come on, bro, look at me. Sell tomatoes? Nah, I'm better than that. I come from good stock. I mean, look at me. I can't do that. While I'm doing that, I'm sitting at home, right? I'm not selling anything. I'm not making money. I'm sitting at home playing video games because I can. Okay. That black kid comes from Eastern Cape. No job, no opportunities, nothing. He borrows, I don't know, 100 rand, 200 rand, goes and stock, buys tomatoes, makes 300, 400 rand, give an example. So I don't know how the market works. But anyway, he goes, borrows 500 rand, buys stock. He makes maybe double that. Pays the 500 back. Now he's up with 500 back to restock again. Now he starts generating cash every single day. So instead of him just sitting at home playing video games, what is he doing? He's going out, going to the corner and going to sell his tomatoes and onions and whatever he's selling. That person is making money every single day, whether it's, I don't know, maybe 100 rand, maybe 200 rand making a day. It's something. He's building his own legacy. Now, what are you doing? You're probably making CVs, making phone calls, not getting any jobs. You wait 2 years, you're unemployed. That person has spent the last 2 years selling tomatoes and onions and probably growing even more. Do you see the difference? Is he waiting on government? No. So why are we waiting on government? Some of us are even so happy with the 350. 350. That grant, we are so happy with it. We can't wait for end of the month to get 350 rand. That black kid that we're laughing at, he's making that amount of money almost every single day. And we are waiting for that one money, that one amount at the end of the month. You're waiting 4 weeks for 350 rand. And their person is doing it every single day. So who's the laughing stock now? The thing is, ego, pride, and this old thing that we are better than them is what's killing us. We need to stop that. You see, the hustle is real when we have the uncles and the aunties that are doing the whole selling veggies on the corner in Mitchell's Plain at the marketplace. And those people we respect because they creating their own legacies. They creating their own wealth, their own money. They don't depend on a job. They don't depend on government. They don't depend on companies. They don't depend on anybody but themselves. And how did they get started? They probably borrowed a few pennies. They probably had jobs before and then they decided they're going to leave. But the most important thing is that the financial input is as minimal as, let's just say, 500 rand, right? You can even start with as little as 200 rand, for example, and grow it from there. But instead, we would rather get a job, be secure in a uniform, look good with a salary that doesn't even last a month. We look good taking credit so that we look good. We spend our entire lives paying off debts that are unnecessary. That is money that could be saved for a rainy day. But instead, we worry what other people think about us. Now, the black people that we laugh at, they don't care who loves. The Somali people, they don't care who loves. The Pakistani people and Bangladeshi people, they don't care who loves. They go even a step further. They don't even worry about the clothes that they wear, the brands that they wear, because they're always in their traditional clothing. If not, they always in these slippers, flip flops, jeans, t shirts. That's it. You don't see those Somalis and Pakistanis dressing up to the nines, to the T, because they know all that is fleeting and all that is frivolous. Because all those brands that you're spending money on to look good, on your Jordans, your Red Badge, your this and that, taking credit at sports scene and wherever else you shop, that's money going out of your pocket when there could have been money coming into your pocket. Now, I'm not saying don't wear your Jordans, your Nikes, your Timberlands. I'm not saying that. You can wear your Nikes, your Jordans, your Timberlands after you've made money. And you don't have to take it on credit. The whole point of credit is to keep you in a debt cycle, in a debt trap, right? We all know that, for real, right? So if you know that, then why you keep doing it? That's what I don't understand. You're supposed to be making money, not spending it. So if you're spending money instead of making money, now how are you thinking? That's my whole point that I'm trying to make here. Do you understand? So we're supposed to be generating cash, not spending it, but generating. You see, I could be wrong on this one, right? But I really feel like if we all put our monies together, put our minds together, right, as a collective, we could actually generate more money as a people than as individuals. The main reason why the Somalis took over the whole tuck shop business is because we were operating on that individualistic mode, whereas they came in and they operate on a community mode, and that's how they managed to outmuscle all the local people. Now, I could be wrong on this, guys, but I feel like there isn't the unity aspect, and that for me feels like we are. It's continuing to be a uh, the biggest kill in our communities because of a simple act of you people want to do things your way and you only want to listen to yourselves. You don't want to take any advice from anybody. You don't want to pool your resources together because of competition. And that's another thing that's killing our communities is competition. We want to be better than. We want to be the ones that people come to and ask for. We want to be higher than. It's all about status. How are you going to be worrying about status if you're not even making money? I would rather be unemployed. I'd rather be watching video games all day than to go and hustle and make money. Is that the mentality? Is that the real way we're supposed to be living? Guys, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, some of us need to break out of that cycle. And once you break out of that cycle, we need to take the ones who are left behind and pull them out of that cycle. Because the only way that we can grow as a community is if we work together, like what the Somalians and the Pakistanis and the Bangladeshis do. Fortunately, we are still trapped in that mental slavery system, like Bob Marley always spoke about. He was like, physical incarceration is better than mental incarceration because with physical incarceration, you can actually see the chains. You can actually make a plan to try and break the chains. But if you're enslaved mentally, you probably, almost definitely, will never see the chains that are holding you back in your mind, right? Yes, I do know that we were indoctrinated by apartheid to think in a certain way, to think like certain people. And I got to be honest, a lot of people have actually broken out of that apartheid cycle way of thinking when it comes to money, when it comes to business. I got to admit that. Some people, they don't care how they make their money, with who they make their money with, as long as they're making money, as long as they're not depending on government, they're not depending on family, they're not depending on anybody. Least of all, they do not depend on a job for their survival. Now, a uniform looks good. Salary getting end of the month, that's quick money, that's good money. 3, 4 weeks, you're making 5, 6, 10,000, 12, 15, hell, 50,000 a month. Dude, that's even better. That's even good. That's cool. And we all know that. But imagine if you could generate that type of money on your own, where you do not rely on a company or grants. And that is the main reason why a lot of black people and the Pakistanis and the Somalis are doing. They do not, guys, we need to learn from the Somalis because honestly speaking, these people came in here when we were so-called established already. They came with nothing, right? They just came themselves. Who's running Belleville now? Who's taken over Belleville now? How is it possible that those people came and took over something that we were in control of? How is that possible? Did you ever think about that? Every time a colored business closes, who's replacing it? If it's not a black business, a Nigerian business, a Somali business, it's a Pakistani business. Why isn't it any of our people? Isn't that something to think about? I mean, Julius Malema said it best. He was like, South Africans, we complain about job losses and these foreigners taking our thing, but when a tomato seller, a South African tomato seller, irrespective of race, South African, right, moves away from that spot, goes maybe to a better spot, the person that comes in to replace that South African is a foreigner. But when a foreigner moves from that spot, it's not a South African that replaces that foreigner at that spot. It's actually another foreigner that replaces that foreigner. So do you see what I'm saying? It's cyclical. It's like a cycle that we need to break out of, that we need to depend on ourselves. We cannot wait for companies or governments. We need to depend on ourselves. So for this one, there's no pros and there's no cons. But we just need to ponder on the mistakes that we make and we need to change. So remember, if you're not growing, you are dying. And that's the reality of life. Guys, we have brains like everybody else. We have the same 24 hours in a day. So let's make it count. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if I was on the money or I completely missed it with this one. Holla!